Here we go. This is it. Game 6. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse Game 6 preview. The Knicks are about to take the floor in about an hour and 5 minutes or so, 6 minutes to the tip-off. They'll be on the floor earlier. They're probably on the floor right now at MSG. And the New York Knicks are up 3-2 against the reigning champion, Boston Celtics, who came out with a tremendous effort in Game 5 to at least save face. Getting gentlemen swept in the second round after you've won the NBA championship the year before just would have been humiliation that they could not stomach. Even without their best player, Jason Tatum, the rest of the guys rose up and took care of business. And it was a combination of they played fantastic basketball themselves, and the Knicks played absolutely like a JV type basketball. Will that occur again for Game 6? We'll break it down. I put out a video late last night. You may have already seen it this morning, outlining what the Knicks need to do. But there was one other thing, and that is Karl Anthony Towns. Is this the game that he's going to finally step up and lead the Knicks to the biggest win of the last 25 years? They haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. We know what Jalen Brunson can do. We know he is Captain Clutch. We know that he scored the most fourth quarter points of anybody in playoff history at this point. Comparing himself, he's been compared in terms of statistically to Kobe Bryant's achievements. Will Brunson continue that? I believe he will. He had a poor game in Game 5. He rarely follows that up, so that's another thing that Knicks have for them and to be able to pull this win out. But the most important thing will be how they start the game off. They actually got off to a decent start in Game 5, should I say, in the first quarter. They scored their most points they had scored all series long in that quarter, 32 points in any first quarter, should I say. But by the end of it, they only had a 2-point lead, 30-32, and then they built up a 9-point lead in the second quarter and let the Celtics get back in it to tie it up 59 all by the half. And then we all know the story of the second half of that game, especially the third quarter, which was just so abysmal. The Knicks ended up completely in foul trouble. Brunson fouled out with about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So there was no opportunity for any heroic comeback at all without Jalen Brunson available there. So let's get into it. Let's keep going. Here's where we are right now. It's 3-2 Knicks. The Knicks said that the beauty of getting a 3-1 lead in a 7-game series is that you have the opportunity to close out. You have 3 chances to close out a series. They blew the first one, but tonight is the most important one. The Knicks are playing at home at MSG. They haven't closed out a series at home in 26 years. That's right. Is that correct? No, in the second round, should I say? Oh, I may have mistaken that, but it's been a long time since the Knicks have been in the Eastern Conference Finals since the year 2000. The year 2000. So history is possible, not history, but I mean, basically, it'll change the history of anybody who became a Knicks fan during the 2000s. Now, this is the moment to relish. And the beauty is the Knicks are playing at home, and they don't have to do too much to correct the mistakes that they made in Game 5. First thing is this man. This man, Karl Anthony Towns, has to take over. There is no doubt he has to take over in the game, in the first quarter especially when you look at, here's one key thing I just tweeted this out recently. Getting off to a good start will be key for the Knicks in Game 6. First quarters have been 12 minutes of doom for New York against the Celtics in the playoffs. Boston has outscored them by a total of 37 points. Shockingly, Derek White has as many first quarter points as Cat and Brunson combined, 48 points. That's right. 48 points. That is shocking. That has to be corrected. And defending Derek White is one of the keys to victory. We'll get into that a little later. Let's focus on the Knicks offense here. Because it all starts with the threes. The same old story we've been talking about for the longest time. Well, now it has really come back to hurt them, especially it's hurt them in the losses. And even in the wins, it's hurt them. It's forced them to have to pull off 20-point comebacks, 15-point comebacks. They cannot fall behind again. You can only do that so often and actually come out with a victory. Knicks have been playing with danger right there. I want this to be a resounding victory for the Knicks tonight. Actually, I'll take any victory. But I think the key to a victory is for the Knicks to get off to a good start in the first quarter. You can see here by shooting more threes. Celtics have taken a total of 237 threes in the first quarter. 80 more attempts than New York. This is just 5 games. 80 more attempts. So that's about, 16 more attempts? Wow. Per game in the first quarter? That's crazy. Both are shooting near the same three-point percentage. Boston is shooting almost 36%, 35.9%, and the Knicks are shooting 35%. So nearly the same, but the volume disparity is impossible to overcome with 2-point attempts. Math won't support it. Knicks and Brunson, especially Brunson, because he has only attempted 7 3-pointers in the 5 games in the first quarters and only made 1. Brunson and Knicks must take and make. Knicks are only shooting 14.3% in the first quarter from 3 to win. That is an absolute must. I mean, I'll even show you guys the breakdown here. You can see it. 237 3-point attempts for the Celtics in total. Wait a second, let me find that. Here we go. That's that's in the whole game, should we say? In the whole game. And the Knicks have taken 157. In the first quarter, here we'll look at it here. In the first quarter, the Celtics have attempted 60, while the Knicks have only attempted 42. That's 18 different, not 15. It was 18 more 3-point attempts. But they are shooting 48.3% in that first quarter. Actually, the other thing was for the total playoffs. Sorry. In the first quarter, 48.3%. The Knicks are shooting 33.3%. That just cannot stay like that, especially when you look at what's happening here in the first quarters. When you break down, here we go. OG has the most attempts in the first quarter from the 3-point line, 11. But when you compare, and then no one else has more than double digits. No one else. Josh Hart is close with 9. He's hit 2 of them. Brunson has 7. He's hit 1. Mikal Bridges 2 of 6. Deuce McBride in 21.5 total minutes over the 5 games. He's attempted 5 and hit 3, which is nice. Kind of also speaks to maybe Deuce should be starting over Josh. And then you have Karl Anthony Towns right here, 2 of 4. That's it in the first quarters. That is just confusing. That has to completely get altered. We need Cat to roar from the beginning. And let me get specific about this. Here's what's happened. Cat and Thibs are playing right into the Celtics defensive scheme. They put a small defender on Cat, like a Drew Holiday, sometimes Derek White, but they put a smaller guy on Cat to induce him to drive, to chase him off the 3-point line and to induce him to drive. But the problem is they have another big coming from the backside. Cornette. That's why he got so many blocks. Porzingis when he's feeling good. Al Horford when he's feeling good. All of those guys roll over to double him at the rim or to block him from behind, and they leave Josh Hart wide open. Yes, Hart did hit 5 of 9 from the 3-point line in Game 5 totally, but they're willing to live with that because they know that he is hesitant. They know that he won't take all the threes that he could and should. They know that eventually he just gets nervous out there. I mean, he took 9, which is a tremendous amount. He could have probably ended up taking 12, 13, 14, really. That's how open he was at the three-point line. And if he's hitting them at that kind of clip, he should continue and punish them. However, he's just not that kind of player, and you can't really depend on him to have that kind of scoring ability from the three-point line every single game out. So they were willing to gamble. And it gambled, and it worked off for them. It worked out for them in Game 5, even though he actually did connect from distance. But you can see in first quarters, he's only 2 of 9. So he's not a threat from the beginning. He's barely a threat from the beginning. He's only attempted 14 field goals in the first quarter in total, compared to 20 for OG, 26 for Brunson, 22 for Bridges, but only 17 attempted field goals for Karl-Anthony Towns. That boy, and you can see his efficiency numbers are nice. 52, almost 53% overall, 50% from the three-point line, but the volume is so way down. The diet of which shots he's to take is off right now, and that is what Boston wanted, because they were destroyed in that final regular season game by Karl-Anthony Towns inside the paint and at the rim, and they fouled him repeatedly, and he only attempted 3 3-pointers in that game, or 2 or 3 in that game, but the rest of them was all inside the arc, and he delivered 34 points. They don't want to see a repeat of that. So at this point, the Knicks need to change up their entire scheme. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining me here. We got Jesse Rodriguez, Sandman, Buzzer Beater. Let's go. Daniel Berry, Lee Ping. What's up? We got Lex in the house. Droop the Loop, Pack a Punch, and Victor. What's up, brother? Yes, this is our Game 7. It has to be treated like a Game 7. And the absolute key is more volume from the three-point line for the Knicks. It is a must-do. And Cat has to be the one, because he's our best three-point shooter. And if he stays out, far out, I mean, he can take those 28-footers and bury them. Knicks need to hunt for those opportunities for Cat. They need to set some high screens. They need to get... I mean, that's the other reason why it would be a positive to maybe start Deuce over Josh Hart. I know I talked about yesterday starting Mitch potentially. I just feel like Thibs is just not going to do that right now. He doesn't want to risk getting both of his bigs into foul trouble right away. So I highly doubt he's going to do it. But starting Deuce over Hart could be the key to unlocking a three-point arsenal, that onslaught that the New York Knicks need to do from the go, immediately from the go. Because when you look at this, then you look at this. This is Boston's first quarters. 17 attempts for Derek White. He's shooting 70% from the three-point line in the first quarter. So the defense on White, they have to treat Derek White as if he is Jason Tatum himself right now. They have to blanket him from the minute he gets over the half-court line. Someone has to mark him constantly, but at the same time, because Boston is really good at trying to mix defenses up and the way they approach cross over the half-court line, pick up the guy closest to you. Whoever it is, just pick him up and stick to him, especially if it's Derek White. The minute he crosses over that half-court line into the offensive side of the court, there needs to be a Knick within a foot away from him. No airspace whatsoever, because the minute he starts getting comfortable, it doesn't change for the rest of the game. He might miss a few in the third and the fourth quarter after he's been hoisting them. He gets a little tired as the game wears on, but by then they've already built up big leads. So the key is to not let him feel comfortable early on by taking away any room that he has to work with. That is a must-do. Force him into driving. Maybe someone can strip the ball as he's driving to the hoop. Whatever it is, Knicks need to get this guy off the three-point line and smother him. Even inside the arc, he's still delivering. He's 4 of 6 inside the arc, shooting almost 70% there as well. So he is a must-do. He scored 48 points. Look at that, 48 points just by himself. And you look at combined, Brunson has 23 points, and Towns has 25 points. That's 48 points total for them. Interestingly, Towns is the leading scorer in the first quarter, even though he has attempted the fewest shot attempts other than Josh Hart in that first quarter. Go figure. That just shows his efficiency. That's why he is the key. It is time. It is time for this man to roar, to make the Celtics suffer. He needs to inflict a punishment on this Boston Celtics team that they have not felt in the playoffs in the last 2 years. This is the game. Right now, I want a 30-point halftime lead for the Knicks, and then it just coasts to victory the rest of the game, and we move on to face the Indiana Pacers. That is the must-do, and this man has. This is why he was brought here. He was brought here for this. This is why he makes $50 million a year. This is why he's an All-NBA center. This is why he's an All-Star, 5-time All-Star, whatever it is. This man needs to deliver the victory for the New York Knicks today. It has to happen, and he is the key. He is absolutely the key, and he's the key for the Knicks to continue moving on. We have a championship that can be won this year, but it needs a vicious, angry, roaring cat, not a little one, meow, meow, meow. No, we don't want that. We want the man. We want the big bodega to inflict the punishment. It is time. I'm tired of waiting, and I know Knicks fans are as well. Let's go. Let's go. All right, next thing. Let's keep going. So, oh, see, I messed that up. It's not in the first quarter. I gotta fix that. Oh, here, let's look at this. So, Emmanuel Ocho. I don't even know, not even sure who he is, but he said the Celtics much better against the Knicks without Jason Tatum than they do with him. Give me 2 minutes to show you whatever. He just talked a bunch of whatever, gibberish. I didn't even listen to it, but I did look at the response from KD himself. Kevin Durant, he said, hot take artists have ruined the sport. Football guys, no disrespect, but y'all boys need to stay in your lanes. You don't know what it's like in between these lines. Man, give it a break. Dudes who quit football early to pursue media talk and mental toughness. Cut it out. Woo! Whoa! I tell you, that sounds to me like Kevin Durant thinks Knicks are going to win. Knicks are going to win. He's actually a Knicks supporter right now, suddenly. Could that be a sign of something? That's for another month and a half to discuss. Right now, here are the hottest playoff shooters right now. Naz Reid, he's averaging 1.36 points per shot attempt. That is fantastic. Number 2, Aaron Nesmith, who's waiting for us right now, a 1.3 points per shot. And Drew Holiday is 3rd right now with a .129, and Derek White with a .126. So every time they put up a shot, the expected value is almost a quarter point more than 1 point. That is phenomenal. So the Knicks need to shut, especially Derek White, down with his volume, 165 of 136 shot attempts. The Knicks need to address Derek White. They cannot lose sight of him, and that means this guy has got to get in his face. Often on switches, he's the one who ends up on Derek White. You cannot be passive with him, man. You have to get up to the level, right up into his chest. Make him try to drive around you, or try to find someone else, and maybe he'll make a mistake with a pass. Maybe he'll dribble the ball off his foot. Pressure him. Come on, Cat. And then here, coldest playoff shooters. Luckily for the Knicks, it's Kristaps Porzingis. If he was on fire right now, this would be a much tougher series. This would have been a much tougher series. Would we be up 3-2 even? Hard to say. But if he had been playing at the level that he can play, fortunately for the Knicks, this respiratory illness that he had like a month ago or 2 months ago has been lingering for him, and it's taken a lot of the energy out of him. And that is something that the Knicks cannot squander. But when you look at what they're doing right here, they are squandering it. They're allowing Drew and Derek White to just take over games, right, with efficiency, tremendous efficiency. Second coldest, Dante DiVincenzo, 0.84 points per shot attempt. Yikes. That ain't gonna cut it. But here is the secret weapon right here, people. Here it is. Not even secret. There's no secret about it. Excluding the game he broke his hand in last year versus the Pacers, in the 11 games following a Knicks postseason loss since Jalen Brunson arrived in New York City, he is averaging 34.5 points per game, 8 assists, and 4.7 rebounds. And the Knicks are 9-2 in those 11 contests. So that gives me hope that he's going to take care of business in Game 6, because he not only does he do it after losses, this is how he performs in Game 6s. In the 4 Game 6s he's played in a Knicks uniform, Brunson is averaging 38.3 points per game, 6.8 assists, and 3.5 made three-pointers. Averaging that. So he can have a 40-point game in him, but we need a 30-point game from Cat at least. Or how about 2 40-point games from these guys? And let's just call it a night. Let's do it. Jesse Rodriguez, thank you so much, brother, for your contribution. Game 5, Pritchard and White attempted 27 threes. Wow. That's brutal. That is brutal. Oh, man, that is just painful. All right, hey, you guys, hit the thumbs up button for me. Share the video. Drop your comments if you're watching this a little bit later. We're going to keep going in breaking down, setting it up, Game 6 right now. Whew. So, at this point, we need the Knicks to get off to a good start. And a lot of the issues are that starting unit. I mean, let's just be perfectly real and honest here. It's the starting unit. When you come back here, so this is the first quarter starting unit. The Knicks starters have played the second most total minutes in the first quarter, because they played 1 game less than Denver, and they have scored 57 points. You know, not pretty anemic if you ask me, fairly anemic. As a team, this lineup. This not as a team. This particular lineup, the starting lineup, is only shooting 32.8% overall. That's terrible. From the three-point line, they're shooting 25% in the first quarter. So how can you get off the good first quarter starts when your shooting is like this? A lot of it is because they're letting Brunson set the tone on his own. In Game 4, the Knicks shared the ball. They moved the ball, and the players were moving themselves, and it was easier to find quality open looks. And that's one of the reasons why the Knicks were able to win that game so resoundingly. And remember, that was still a game with Jason Tatum. And that was probably their most complete game. They played great defense, and their offense was good enough to win. So at this point, it's easy to see that also the amount of attempts that the Knicks are putting up is just not enough for a team that is, let's look at the per game. Here we go. For a team averaging this many minutes in the first quarter, this lineup, should I say, they're only averaging 4.8 three-point attempts, where the Boston starting lineup, they're averaging 5.0, but they bring in Pritchard right away, who also starts raining threes. He is a big problem, especially as Jesse pointed out. Pritchard and White together are just two snipers out there, and if they get any sliver of daylight, they're going to let that three launch. And right now, they are, phenomenally. They're killing the Knicks. They're killing the Knicks from the outside. But this right here is the most troubling part for the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks starting lineup is the worst starting lineup in the playoffs right now. They, in their 34 minutes of play in the first quarter, they have been outscored by 26 points total. That is just, there's no way to sustain win. And then we look down a little further, the lineup of Towns, OG, Brunson, Mitch, and McBride in that first quarter, they've only played 3 total minutes for a minus 13. In 3 total minutes, a minus 13. they're just getting their asses spanked in that first quarter. And a lot of that is just lackadaisical defense, losing track of who are the players on the Boston Celtics who can really hurt you, and allowing them. It really comes down to Cat. Really. It comes down to Cat. Because if the Knicks don't establish Cat out on the perimeter as a lethal presence out there, and they can just basically just keep putting a small on him, which induces him to drive to the hoop, this whole thing is just, they're just going to find themselves in a hole and have to recover with a blend of their bench players, which is Deuce, Mitch, and a little bit of Payne, but it's mostly Deuce and Mitch have been actually incredibly responsible for the Knicks being up 3-2 at this point when you look at them in totality of what their contributions have been compared to what the starters are doing. So that's a must change. That is a must change. All right, man. Let's look at the other quarter. Oh, interesting here. In the Knicks are losing first quarters by 26 points, the starters. And then in the second quarter, for only 2 games of the 5 has the starting units played in the second quarter. And it's much less minutes, it's only 14 minutes total, but they're -8. So already by halftime, on average, the starters are down a -34. Wow. And that averages out to 9.2 minus 9.2 per game. Atrocious. Then you look at the second quarter. Yeah, 9.2. The third quarters, the Knicks are, they're still hurting tremendously, but they're faring a tiny bit better. They are a -14 in the third quarter in 41 minutes. But that is the quarter they have scored the most points, those starters, 82. And they have played the most minutes as well. Interestingly, the starters have played a combined 41 minutes in the third quarter compared to 34 minutes in the first quarter. But they definitely have scored more. They're shooting better in the fourth quarter than in the third quarter than in the first quarter. They're shooting 45%, but the three-point shot is not there. It's interesting. The three-point shot in the first quarter is 25%. In the second quarter, it's 43%. In the third quarter, it's down to 22%. And then in the fourth quarter, which the Knicks are the best fourth quarter team right now, they have to be. How else can you be up 3-2 if you lose the first 3 quarters? You can't lose the fourth quarter too. So they have been punishing teams in the fourth quarter, and they've been punishing the Celtics in this series. They're shooting 44% from the three-point line in the fourth quarter. And they're a +9. It's the only quarter that the starters are plus. So they're -26 in first quarter, -8 in second quarter, -14 in third quarter, and a +9 in the fourth quarter. They're also a +3 in overtime because they had that one overtime victory. So we need the Knicks, man. And the key, I'll tell you, definitely rebounding helps. Protecting the ball helps. Don't stop making those silly turnovers. And man, share the ball. They have to share the ball. That's just the reality of the situation for this team. If they don't share the ball, it becomes much easier for the Celtics to defend them. It's just become they're stationary targets then. And a lot of times the confusion is the other thing that was so shocking to me. The confusion, it was more confusion on the defensive end in Game 5. But they still look confused often on the offensive end. How many times has the shot clock, someone's had to hoist up a shot clock beater and then not even make it in time, or the shot clock runs out, it's a 24-second violation. I feel like it constantly happens, especially in those first quarters. These are easy fixes, guys. These are pros. You guys can take care of this business. We need you to come out from the jump and dominate from the beginning and not let these three-point shooters of the Boston Celtics have to get comfortable. That is the absolute key to winning this series, to ending it tonight. That's right. They must end it tonight. Look at the totals here. Let's do the per game. Oh, totals, man. So I messed that up. So it was 60 attempts in the first quarter to 42 attempts in the first quarter. I was looking at the entire game stats. But it's, it kind of tells you the situation here when you look at it this way here. This is the whole game. Here are the totals. Celtics are a plus 35. The Knicks are a minus 35 in totality. And yet the Knicks are up 3-2. Now, how that works out, it's crazy. It's crazy. But the rebounding, Knicks, they're not really battling for the boards as much. They're losing the rebounding battle by 6. Assists are close by 4. Turnovers pretty close, 64 to 63. Steals, Knicks have more steals, 34 to 30. That was another tremendous key to the Knicks' wins in this series, was the ability to force the Celtics into turning the ball over, and that was through just steals. That is something that the Knicks didn't really produce much at all in Game 5. So I'm expecting more of that in Game 6. It's a key aspect, a key ingredient for the Knicks to be able to get easy baskets, because the more deflections, the more steals that you create, the more opportunities that you get in transition, and you can finish and get easier buckets in that way. But the Knicks were even struggling in that last game. They were forcing the issue. But look at the blocks. Only 15 blocks for the Knicks to 32 for the Celtics. That is wild disparity. But the fouls, you can see the Knicks have committed personal fouls, 106 to 91. That is 15 additional fouls have been awarded to the Celtics than to the Knicks. Atrocious. But you can see the field goal percentage is fairly even. 43.5% for the Celtics to 43.4% for the Knicks. But then you look at the 3-point percentage, as I mentioned in that tweet, even though I made the mistake that it wasn't the first quarter, it was the whole game. 35% for the Knicks from the 3-point line to just a tick under 36% for the Celtics. But the whole story is the volume. 80 more attempts. The math just doesn't support that. That's 80 more attempts and 30 more makes. That's 90 more points that came to them from the 3-point line. Wow. That's wild. That's 90 more attempts. Yeah, actually it's really about a point more per shot attempt per make. Yeah. And that's it. That's the difference that's the margin between 35 points total. Damn. What else is here to look at of interest? But I'll tell you, here's the interesting thing. The fourth quarters. Let's look at some positives here for the Knicks. The fourth quarters, the Knicks are just punishing the Celtics. Let's pull this up here. What's up, chat? Oh, we got John Rover in the house. Yeah, Joshua Cruz, what's up, brother? Cheater. You can see, look, Brunson has 43 points all by himself in the fourth quarter, which, Pritchard and Tatum have 48 points combined. So it's almost an inverse of what's happening in the first quarters of these games compared to the fourth quarters. And I got to say, that is a tremendous weapon to have, and that is the reason why the Knicks are up 3-2 is because they have been able to take care of business in the fourth quarter. So what the Knicks need to do is treat first quarters like they're the fourth quarter. And they need to come out and treat this game like it's a Game 7. It's a must-win for them. There's just no if, ands, or buts about it. It is a must-do, must happen. And tonight, I believe it will. I believe the New York Knicks are going to finally reward us fans with an Eastern Conference Finals tonight. Let's go. All right, thank you guys for watching this. Again, my name is George. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, get your merch, guys. Definitely get your merch. Snap hats, snapbacks. We got dad hats. There's cool hoodies, shirts, all kinds of fun stuff in the shop, and it's in the description of this video itself. What's up, Jesse? Thank you again for the super chat. Tatum was their best rebounder. I know. He's their leading rebounder and leading assist guy. Come on. Look, Game 5, as I said in the previous video, Game 5 was an anomaly. You know, it was one of those perfect storms benefiting Boston and hurting the Knicks, which was the Knicks just came out flat. They couldn't make a bucket. OG was 1-12 or something like that. And, you know, Cat got himself into foul trouble early, and then Brunson fouls out early, and it just didn't shoot enough threes, and they didn't play the smart defense. They didn't really commit fully to the switching, and then at times they were confused by the switching. I think not having Tatum on the court, which usually has been the primary focus for the first 4 games, really threw them off, and the Celtics took advantage of it all. And the Celtics shot incredibly well, and that was the perfect storm. Perfection is difficult to achieve, especially twice in a row. So I don't think that's going to happen tonight. Knicks will celebrate. Knicks will win. We will celebrate. Knicks in 6. Let's go. All right. Thank you for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. I will be doing a halftime show and probably a live post-game show tonight. Happy Friday, everyone. Let's go. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go.